hello friends. Today, our next conversation with Natasha Kivak. Natasha, thank you for joining us. And this is again the topic of ceremony and transpersonal experience and psychedelics. And today is my turn to tell process work methods, how to prepare to the ceremony, how to work inside the ceremony, and how to integrate. So I put 1 second. Please put your microphone on, okay? Not Natasha, other people. Off, I mean, not on, off. If possible, mute.
So I'm going to be interviewer today.
Yeah, you're going to help me. So
yay!
Yeah, we have Aliya, we have people. So I want to just tell about the same story I put. I will give you driver seat soon. I just want to repeat the story which I wrote in the description before this conversation, and which I want to make a main topic of our conversation. So before, like, I had this, basically I led this ceremony, was facilitator of this beautiful ceremony several weeks ago, and I had myself amazing experience because we invited to the ceremony a singer, professional singer, and also shamanic girl, beautiful person. And she led a basically singing lesson or singing, I don't know how to call it. During the ceremony, I sang with her, and I experienced this amazing uplifting feeling that I am a beautiful singer with channeling cosmic light through my voice to the crowd, and I'm staging a huge stage and everybody listening to me. And it was just so real and so uplifting to me. And in real life, I do work with my voice, but I can't, I definitely not a singer. Everybody knows that I can sing 3 melody lines together. And that's why I still have this accent. I'm tone deaf. So this experience in ceremony was really far from my everyday life experience. It's very uplifting. So next day, I found myself sober and I tried to sing and nothing happened actually. As I was tone deaf before, I am tone deaf right now. Nothing has been changed in my real life. Also, nothing has been changed in my desire to step out to the world and be seen. I'm sitting in this beautiful center in upstate New York with my amazing, beloved community, but that's it. So, but I do have process work and I have methods. So that's I want to make the whole general topic of our discussion. We see something super amazing, or we see something scary, something edgy in our ceremony. So I'm giving you a driver. I know I took initiative, but I'm giving you, so maybe you can ask questions because I think process work answers to some of those questions.
Aliya, can you put yourself on mute because we can listen?
Yeah, I'm putting people on mute. It's okay. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So, do you still have a memory in your body? How did it feel when you were in ceremony and this opened up in you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
I do.
What is the feeling? What is the feeling?
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about process work. Not I know you try to lead me. Many people okay, what I'm taking the driver seat again. What Natasha tried to do is exactly what I would do. We kind of use similar methods. Even I come from process work experience and you come in from shamanic experience. let me explain. Maybe you explain what you. Yeah, I remember, and that's what I did. I played it in my body and play with it, and I tried to take the essence of the state and
Mm-hmm.
put it into different channels.
Yeah.
Like I have it in my body channel and singing
Yeah.
channel. I even sung a little bit after went to this water source. I
Yeah.
have water source on my property, which um, water like create a swamp of part on part of my property. So I went to water
Yeah.
source, sing to it,
Yeah.
sing a song, and it was quite good, quite beautiful. I have a record. So I did use this experience for my small purpose.
Yeah.
So, but it didn't answer to big questions in my life: how to step out and be seen in the world. So,
Did you have a thought at that moment in ceremony, how I step out in the world, how I
not,
do?
of course, I just had experience. That's why that's a story. Uh, this experience, I was writing an article today about this. The experience in ceremony or psychedelic states, or sometimes meditative states, also dream, is not a thinking experience, sometimes a thinking experience. But in many cases, yes, like let's say, it's a non-cognitive. It's a body, it's a voice, it's a movement, and it's a state, certain state which I experience quite rare, like being seen by big world, being channeling a big energy, not a small energy. So I can explain it, right, by words. And yeah, I had a thought. I even tell it to this my partner Aliya, who was working with me. I thought, oh my gosh, this is a different level.
Mhm.
That's what I told. So how what I wanted to tell
So,
to them? Yeah.
so basically, what I want to ask you, how you connect to experiences which are not cognitive, and what process work says about it.
Uh-huh. Okay. So how we have non-cognitive experiences, right?
Yeah,
Like
if you're
feeling,
lucky enough to get there.
or yeah, or cognitive, but really far from normal state. It was partly cognitive. Can explain it. Yeah, I've seen this amazing fairy tale. Oh, Dina is singing to the world. Very
Hmm.
far from what really happens. Really far. So how I explain it? First, I put it into playful mode in the body. So I do shape shifting techniques. So
Hmm.
when I thought a little bit about it, and I thought in the terms of process work. This was a dream, but this dream is somehow in line with my secondary process, with the process of my development. What process work really always searching for? It's searching for next step in your development.
Hmm.
And it could be next step in your personal development in your relationship with the world, with creativity, with career, with money, or whatever, something. And also for the edge, this border, which prevents you to step, because sometimes you can go there, but many cases something blocking you. It's normal. We
Hmm.
have two, actually two tendencies in our development process. One is to keep our boundaries safe, not changing. That's me. That's Natasha. No, 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 no. I'm not Natasha. You're not me. I'm not becoming like you. You're not becoming like me. That's it. So I'm not a singer. I am like something else. And another tendency is to step beyond this
Hmm.
edge, beyond the boundaries, and expand our territory. Yes, I'm this. I'm quite like therapist using process work, but I also want to be the singer,
Yeah.
right? There's a
Yeah.
new territory, new ways of behavior. So I analyze that.
When you say new territory, like how, like in your, like, is it freshness of, like, how do you recognize it's a new territory?
Hey, Aliya, this was my partner in
Yeah.
this journey. Good question. How I know that's a new territory? Okay, again, when I start to shapeshift, I do shapeshifting techniques. So, as you suggest me in the beginning, I start to shapeshift into this state. So, I mean, I remember my body feeling. It was like, also, I notice small changes in my sensations. My chest is more open and a little bit tensed. My neck is longer than usual. I am more connected to the heaven, to upper realm. My solar plexus are more open. So there are also, as being somatic therapist and trained, I notice small changes in my body system. And that's what I teach my students to notice it, right? So I notice that. And yes, so, and then I walk a little bit with these new changes in a somatic and energy experience and try to first anchor these changes in some kind of image. It could be the singer who sings to the word, right? And then after I did that, I try to, from the same state of body, energy, imagination, image, I try to look at the everyday questions I have right now. I do have a lot of questions which I don't know how to resolve. How to bring more people to your ceremony? How to, yeah, that's a good question, right? How
Okay.
to make this ceremony more, my ceremony more beautiful? How to this and that and that? What to do? Like how to plan fall for my center.
Mm,
So I try to give myself advice from this. It's not all advices which came, but some ideas, big ideas came
mm,
from this different somatic experience. Also, different singing, different voice.
mhm, mhm,
So this could be the shape shifting techniques helps. Also, I would say I wanted to talk a little bit about process work in a bigger perspective, right? Uh, because you know, I'm looking at this time we live right now in the time of change. Many things humanity encounter right now, many situations we didn't encounter before. Even the history of humanity always was, this challenge or that challenge, this war or hunger, conflict or something. One thing which usually happen, uh, many structures was passed from parents to child, like family structure, educational structure, um, how you create a family, where you're going to live, right? People didn't select, like, I am here, my daughter was choosing for a while, is she going to live in Hawaii or Japan? She's still here, but who knows, right?
mm,
That's totally doable for her to live in some other country or place. So the variety of styles of behavior which we encounter right now, you change your lifestyle of San Francisco product manager, right?
mm,
To lifestyle of Peruvian shaman and come back. And now you're in between of these two lifestyles. So it's
mhm,
not many people could do it in past. So this ability to be more um, kind of friendly with neuroplasticity, with unknown,
mhm.
with non-structured reality, uh, probably is our next step as humanity to learn.
Yeah.
Also, challenge of AI, which will do many cognitive task much better than we are. So maybe spirituality is more like that's where we can compete with it.
So in
What
this
do you think? This is like I know I talk too much. Let's
in
like
your new this new state, new archetype, if you wish, right? This state, Dina who's singing, who's actually singing, and it's good,
yeah,
singing
we
well.
actually can sing and can
What
sing to the public and
forget
beautiful,
like
right?
forget about that. Like forget for a second. Like imagine that nobody told you that you cannot sing, right? Sing. So you were in that state when actually new resources, completely new resources are all available, and you masterfully using them. It's
Yes,
not just like I have a voice, but like I have a mastery. That's how I
I have
understand.
mastery of this voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So from that state, from that Dina, what she's capable of, what she can do, what like other Dinas, whatever zoo we have inside, right? All this.
She can stop out and present and talk without becoming accent in English and be seen and
Yeah.
tell her, like, share her mastery with process work with more people, bring more people for
Yeah.
ceremonies. It's like I told, our ceremony is coming. We have a good team of
Yeah.
people. We still have space open.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Everyday task, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can sing to bigger public,
Yeah.
wider public.
How about like not tasks like before we start actually monetizing it? Let's go into the essence. Why it's so cool? Why you like
Essence.
the essence? Like your face changing when you talk about it. Like your
Let me see.
energy is
Let me see. Yeah. You
you love
know,
it somehow.
I love it. Yeah. I'm connected to something such big and beautiful and this. And this energy is coming through me
Hmm.
and I can express them as same quality of beauty. I can match this beauty and refine and this power with my voice. That, isn't it magical?
Yeah. Yeah.
When I talk about it, I want to cry.
Yeah.
It's very emotional. Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah, been with this. That's what we're doing. We're doing integration, right?
Yeah.
In the public, which is scary.
Why is it?
An integration. And this integration can happen for many months after the ceremony. Like, from my knowledge, it's like 3, 4 months at least, and sometimes a year. What's your knowledge? How long is this integration?
It totally depends. It depends. For some people, it's very fast. For some people, it takes like a year and anything in between, right? Basically, the good question would be like when this integration is complete, how do we know it's complete, right?
Oh, I can tell you.
Hmm.
I can tell you. I have experiences.
Mm.
Um, like each experience, maybe never, but some part of it could be complete. Like one of these, um, one story about integration of ceremony. I want to tell it's a cool story. One after it was ayahuasca, by the way, and during the ayahuasca ceremony, I've seen a vision. I've seen a vision of some kind of structure, geometrical structure, like very strong arrow, maybe from metal or like some very strong material, and a lot of small, uh, beautiful colored uh, toys. So something like it was spheres and some kind of 3D geometrical toys, beautiful color, clean, like yellow and blue and green, were rotating around it. And they were small and shiny. And I was asked me, do you wanna your intention come true? And like, yeah, I want to manifest intentions. That's what I want to do. And she told me, then your um power of intention should be very strong, like this arrow. And because it's ayahuasca, right?
Mm.
So it made me to be this arrow. So I become right in the ceremony. This is called process work inside the ceremony. Needs to be trained before the
Mm.
process work modality. But because I'm good trained, I become a shapeshift into this arrow. And she told me, not enough, not enough, do more. I like, and she looked even more. And all my body becomes this very strong, really tensed arrow of intention. And
Mm.
I like was bringing more and more tension and yeah. Uh, and when she was satisfied, I said, you're doing good. So now look around. And I saw this beautiful, shiny toys, rotating shell, and you shouldn't break any of those.
Mm.
So it was like this combination of really strong intention and sensitivity to gentleness of atmosphere around me.
Mm.
And is it forever or is it integrated? I think part of it. Part of it I integrated and I had the science. Should I integrate it more? Yes. Is it forever? Yeah, maybe forever. Lesson on how to be strong and sensitive. What is interesting about this story is that many years after, a couple of years after, I found Vasily Kandinsky picture, which called Gentle Tension, which resembles this picture.
Mhm.
Maybe later I can put it. So it's exactly so. Look like he was looking at the same places I was looking at ceremony.
Mm.
Yeah, but who knows? But yes, I think partly it's integrated. I know how to put strong intention, but be more less sensitive is
Yeah.
all this complicated, beautiful thing which surrounds. What's your story about integration? How you integrate and how you know if it's
You,
integrated or not?
yeah, the usual marker that it's integrated, people come back for more. That's very intuitive feeling. That's like, okay, next, next. Uh, hmm. Basically, when this resource, whatever opened up, either its voice and being able to sing, to kind of communicate to public and
Communicate.
engage public with your voice, when this skill is integrated in real life, right? Like for me, integration is not so much structured around specific ceremonies, one like standalone ceremonies. For me, it's structured around dietas. It's kind of longer path chunk.
Mm-hmm.
So dieta is integrated when whatever energy that you were exploring in this dieta, right? So you mastered it, meaning you know this energy, you can identify it, and you can work with it. So it's workable now. Yeah. So that's a full integration. And when energy source is opening up, then whatever has actually been blocking this energy, that's all comes up, and that's usually not a pretty story. It could be sadness, as you mentioned, not even in a beautiful story, right? With a voice.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned, the sadness, right? Like
Of course, yeah.
I would go into that sadness through it because like that's exactly those like not very pleasant places, either sadness or fear or like something that we prefer to avoid, right? That's exactly where like you're going through that and you kind of coming from another side, and that's when the resource opens up, right? It's not something that I want to, but it's like, oh, it's actually uh
So
like
you say part of it is also important to pay attention on the edge, on this blockage. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, what's
yeah,
blocking you? What's the history? I would say I don't know what's blocking me through singing, but the history I was told so many times that my singing is bad, and that was true.
yeah,
And it's sad, you know. I'm a Buddhist practitioner. Even now I feel I'm singing a lot, and that's a sad story.
yeah.
So it is like, and I don't think this one, I don't think the result of this ceremony that I'll be singing, but maybe yes, maybe talking to the world more, practicing,
maybe
give
maybe
my voice to the world.
maybe
Yeah.
accepting your imperfection.
Yes,
Like when imperfection is
accepting
not
imperfection.
practicing
But it's
it.
interesting. What do you think? It's a theoretical question because in a ceremony, I wasn't accepting my imperfection, right? I was perfect. I was feeling this perfection.
So look at this way. Like when you're aware of your imperfection and you're not okay with this imperfection, right? How often you return to like, oh, but I don't have voice, or I cannot sing, or I'm
I
too.
have voice.
Yeah,
Oh, often,
yeah.
often every day, Natasha. Every day, like I'll finish this lecture, I'll call my beautiful Buddhist friend, and we share our time. He's singing, I'm reading mantra because I can't sing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So it is like every day. It's a big story. So it is interesting, like desire for perfection, when imperfection is always here. It's an interesting
You know,
balance.
my integration story a few
Give
years
me
ago.
your integration story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so a few years ago, somebody sent me a recording from 2013. And that was my first dieta, and that's when I was learning kind of basics. That's when I spent 15 months in the jungle. And somebody recorded one of those ceremonies. And many years later, they said, like, this girl sends me, like, Natasha, like minutes, like 25, whatever, there is you singing, right? And I'm
Uh-huh.
listening to my own chant, and somehow I remembered that ceremony, and that I was definitely remembering the state at that time. And I had impression that I'm so loud, I'm taking so much space, right? I
Mm-hmm.
even had the thought that's like, oh, I understand why they use mosquito net in Maloka, because if there was a glass window, like I would break this glass window with my voice. That was my perception of how loud I am. And then I'm listening, and it's like, like literally, like,
Really, really low. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So for me, that was a big breakthrough in terms of like how my perception defines my reality, because it was
Mm-hmm.
not near too loud, and and then I dropped it. I just dropped it. Like whenever I had this
Mm-hmm.
insecurity coming up, Natasha, you're too loud. It's like, okay, yeah, yeah. That's like avoidant attachment style. Hello. Yeah. You're so afraid to take too much space and to be too annoying and too much that you actually distance yourself from people, including lowering my voice, including, like all this stuff. But that's a logical part. In terms of actual experience, just having this like 2 plus 2, like comparing, it's like, oh, but I was 100% sure that like they're nearly knocking me out of Maloka because I'm too loud and I'm taking too much space. Even though every shaman in Maloka Shipiba was coming to me, it's like, Natasha, canta mas, sing more, right? But I didn't calculate in my mind. I was still this obnoxious kid who's taking too much space. And it's like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So now you like little integration
Loud
story,
and proud girl.
loud and proud. Yes. You know what? I cannot, I want to make some space for questions. Yeah, I see questions. But before, before the questions, cannot, I wanna take 3 minutes for advertisement because we are talking today, this conversation going usually fluent, whatever river of thought brings us. And today we talk a lot about different styles of creativity and expression, world expression, and be seen. And my next process work seminars is about this, is about personal critic.
Hmm.
This is this figure which tells, no, 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 Dina, stay in the
Bloody,
corner. And Natasha,
bloody
don't take
asshole.
too much space.
Spoiled your life.
Yes. And also creative project, we'll do creative projects and use maybe constellation working on our creativity blocks. Let's see, process work. And this will be the last process work seminars open to the public, also in our beautiful center. Now, it's such great. I'm so happy to have you in June because right now such a great weather we have and
Hmm.
beautiful flowers and smell and going out. It smells just so. now beautiful space. So it's still, you still can join if you're not part of this group, or if you didn't finish the school, or if you didn't finish the school, want to come to seminar, you can join for discount. But also, so I will put information tomorrow. So come. That's my moment of advertisement. And of course, we still have June 8th ceremony with Natasha. And we have a good group. We have a good group, but we still have space open. So welcome. Questions. There was one question by Oksana. Can you read it? Maybe in English.
We had beginners in our folklore group, and they couldn't sing at all. I thought that like hardly they can success. But teacher was studying with everyone with more than a year, and some people was studying individually. Yeah, and they're singing pretty good right now. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Also, some problems can be resolved with training, some not.
You see how I see it is like if I have something on a level of identity, like this, like fundamental knowledge about myself, that
Yeah.
I'm not that, or I'm that, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do something which goes into conflict with my belief, then what might be helpful is this like reframing, reclamation of beliefs. Like, is it true? Is it really true? Because when belief stands, it's really hard to break
Okay,
it.
you know what, Natasha, we are coming to some
Yeah.
way of also, know how to say it polite. There are also somebody comment, some the story. Oh my gosh, is it true or not? Like, is it true that you can sing or not? I can, but I cannot. Is it true? Like in that there are places in a ceremony or psychological workshop when your critic goes down, and yeah, you dance, you sing, and then you try to go into real life and compete. And that's where people got broken, especially new age people who like dance in the festival, such a beautiful thing. Then they come back to reality and try to compete with reality. Mm, doesn't work as good. So that needs to be some grounding and some work towards integration, or not, or find, sometimes you need to find an essence of this experience. I would say my essence of experience is not that I can sing, probably. Honestly, probably never, really. Like I do work with sound as a shaman, but not a singing professional. But my essence of experience being connected to the higher realm and channel it with my voice, I can do it,
Here we go.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
This is not straightforward advice. So go to practice and you can sing. Is it a true belief or not? It's need to be more complicated, deep work, how to really channel the essence of being, my essence of uh, being this integration example I brought about strong intention and being vulnerable is important for many people. Either you too pushy and you
Mm.
break everything around you. It happened to me so many times. I've become pushy and sure of myself, and then I break relationships.
Mm.
Who didn't do it here? I think happened to many people, maybe not for you, but I've seen a lot of clients who went through that.
Mhm.
Or you become soft in your relationship and nice, and you cannot push through your goals.
Yeah.
So find the fine balance for myself, strengths and vulnerability. That's that's a complicated task. Okay, um, questions, guys. No questions, comments, questions. I don't know, we can talk for a long time. We can bring another story of integration, mythology.
So that was really interesting observation you made about people connecting to something, not necessarily in ceremonies, right?
Not necessarily, no. It could be dream. It could be just
Yeah.
uplifting experience
Yeah.
during travel, sex,
And
art,
then
whatever. Yeah.
they assume that they have a skill, right?
Or they feel they have something there. Right. Not usually assume, but they kind of have this feeling of,
Yeah,
and yeah.
which is great. I mean, which is great, but like there is a difference between having a talent and having a skill.
No, they usually feel, it usually feels like you having a talent, you
Yeah,
know?
so talent needs to be polished, and there's like you sweating, you practicing, you cursing, you love falling in love with that again. So it's a huge the whole relationship was like polishing your talent into a skill, right? Like my
Mm-hmm.
first maestro used to say, like I asked him, like what talents, like what qualities you need to have to become a shaman, and
Yes.
he said you need to be like your mind has to be very strong, clear,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be very grounded, like nervous system, you know.
Strong
Superb nervous
nervous
system.
system. It's interesting
And he
because
said everything else you can, like everything else is teachable, but you have to have a strong nervous system and stability and
uh,
a clear mind.
that's
That's
interesting because that's usually opposite. I agree, of course, but it's opposite quality. When people like, usually people are like drawn to being a shaman when they have more sensitivity than other people. They see things which other people don't see and feel things which other people don't feel. And then they kind of pulled to
I
this
mean,
realm.
it's great if you have sensitivity. If somebody has sensitivity, it's great. It means like less to learn, less to open up. Also,
Mm-hmm.
sensitivity has, you know, the other side. Let's say empathic people, they sense pretty much everything, but they have very little control around sensitivity. So they become kind of vacuum cleaners. In a maloka, they just like absorbing everything, and that like professional life expectancy is very short if you unconditionally absorb every bad energy that pops up in maloka. It's not a good approach. So for those people, the training path is to actually learn to set like on and off switch
Mm-hmm.
and develop immunity. It's almost like vaccinations. Like, okay, so here's this energy, like how I hold my own, like I'm feeling it, I'm seeing it, I'm clear about it, but I'm not falling into that. Right? I'm not start spinning my own narratives from that energy, like whether it's fear or whatever. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
You
that
know, you
so
know
it's
what I'm thinking right now?
yeah,
I'm thinking what kind of dreams and vision people like that will see in during their journey, so during their night sleep, and I can tell you they would be attacked with something which is strong and like powerful, and with something which can like have a lot of boundaries. Like um
keep talking. Yeah, we'll go
yeah,
back
yeah,
to.
yeah, like later. So if you follow process work style, you would be shape shifting constantly, work with this
Yeah.
strong visual images of something like rough, and so,
Yeah.
and then integrating into your primary process, which is more soft and feeling others,
Mhm.
etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you read this question?
So we have a question, Natasha. What are the most important steps of energetic hygiene? Do you practice for yourself and your participants after the ceremony, going into integration? So
Good. Yeah,
that's a really good question. Thank you.
that's a good question.
Yeah, thank you so much. So energetic hygiene, it's a big topic, and it's very overlooked in Western society. My pet theory is because we lost actually awareness of subtle layer of energetic layer for like because we are so very material. We are very good with material hygiene. So what's happening in terms of energetic hygiene? Even before ceremony, it's important to when we do going through dieta,
Mm-hmm.
It's not just food that we consume or not consume. So it's not advisable to watch horror movies. It's not advisable to go to rave parties, all this stuff. So you're preparing yourself so you're not bringing into ceremony the whole bunch of like other stuff other than you.
Other thing,
Right?
yeah.
You also work on your intention, meaning it's not that like my one of my favorite jokes is that medicine, she's not a waitress, she's not going to serve your order if you brought your intention. But it's important to kind of select out of infinite possibilities, to select some spectra of reality that you want to focus on. And it's usually
Well,
like what,
it's not a waitress, but you can do negotiation.
yes, you can
It's
do
a
it.
spirit which has
Yeah,
some intelligence. With any intelligent thing, you can
yeah,
negotiate
definitely,
it.
definitely.
Yeah, so intention is important.
Yeah, by setting your intention, you can selecting like your pizza slice of like
Mm-hmm.
what is
Yeah.
important. It's mostly like inner work. Again, it's inner energetic hygiene that you actually setting your priorities. You're listening to yourself because it starts with listening. You're listening to yourself, like what is important in my life? What is it that I want? What is it that bothers me? Right? So you're doing some self-reflection, which is also part of energetic. It's more on a cognitive side, but not just on a cognitive. Like you're becoming aware of like what's happening in my life, as opposed to coming to ceremonies like it's like whatever, Mercury retrograde, everything is wrong, right? You cannot work, you cannot like do.
Oh, somebody look at me wrong and tell
Yeah,
me something. So I'm
yeah,
attacked by this person, whatever.
yeah. Coming to ceremony also like selecting your place, selecting who you sit with some awareness, right? Sometimes we have control over it, sometimes we don't, but like being comfortable with someone, right, sitting next to those people, or if you sit next to someone and this person like behaves in a way that it's triggering for you, some reflection after, like what you were drawn to, like what was the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic there, like even choosing your place, right? Somebody's choosing place like far, far away in a far, far away corner, even if it's around the Maloka, right? It's like trying to stay away from anyone. Other people trying to be in the center, and that's when they feel comfortable, like in the middle of like, action. So after the ceremony, uh, I try to take shower if that's possible after the ceremony. I
So
use
working with water.
yes, water definitely helps. If I cannot take a shower, at least like washing hands, taking wet towel and like well, some water.
Mhm.
Tea tree oil, it's helpful, like very helpful. Sometimes if it was a hard, like really hard ceremony, some like toxic stuff, people coming to purge, and there is some toxicity in the room, mapacha helps. Even though I quit
And
smoking a while,
mapache is what? Is tobacco?
wild tobacco.
Tobacco.
And it's not like in a way of inhaling like smoking, it's
Just,
more like
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
just to wash yourself with that. Super helpful to have flowers in ceremony, as cheesy as it sounds, but like people bring flowers and it changes a lot, right?
Let's have flowers
Yes.
for
Also,
any
where
workshop.
important thing is awareness in a sense of like expectations, right? Beginners come with a lot of misalignments, with a lot of unstructured or whatever energies, like traumas, unprocessed stuff, lack of skills to connect to emotions, like, beginner, typical beginner. That's why we call them beginners, right? And of course, at least part of the ceremony, they will be feeling bad because she's, first of all, she's a visionary plant, and she's mirroring not only on on visual level, but also on kinesthetic. Like basically, she's telling you, it's like, look, that's your reality. Yeah, like you're dissociating from discomfort into this yucky feeling on daily basis by like watching Netflix, running, shopping, yada 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 yada, all your like stories, watching whatever. But that's what you really feel, right? So it's almost like this red flag or maybe orange flag. It's not quite red flag, but orange flag. It's like, look, like baby, you need to take care of yourself, right? You need to clean your house, right? Your emotional body. You need not only wash your physical body, but you need to take care of your emotional body. You need to take care of your energetic body. You need skills to do it, right? So basically, it's invitation to like, look. It's not a good place right now, right? So let's not fool each other. It's not really a good place, but it's doable. It's doable, so let's work on it, right? So integration from this state, like if you have such experience in ceremony, don't get disenchanted, don't get sad like I had a bad ceremony. You had amazing ceremony because she gave you, you got awareness of those problematic zones, right? It's like your diagnostic phase was very successful. And then as part of integration tool, you figure out like what is that I need to do, what practices I need to introduce,
Mhm.
right? What kind of emotional intelligence I need to build up in myself so I'm not stepping into relationships or human dynamic which is basically compromising for my health, right? And integrity. And that's the place where this perfectionist inner like lately, like so many talks about perfectionism, like I have to have a good experience. If I had bad experience in ceremony, meaning like unpleasant, it was nauseous, and she was showing me like what a dirty little girl I am, right? That's bad, I did something wrong. uh, it's really good time to drop this perfectionist and just like take a data read as an engineer, like with that level of emotional involvement, so you don't have to judge yourself for being who you are, but you definitely can start working with like who you are and what you've got, right, to make your life more comfortable, right, make your space, like inner space, more livable, more enjoyable, right? So flowers, they definitely help to add this uh, joyful and perfumado, like perfumed.
Basically, beauty of life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Clean. Oh, I can add something. I would say there are two, this question has two levels for me. If you come as a client, like first time, second time to the ceremony, what should I do after, right? Besides the or diet, by the way, we should put, we should, this week we should put rules for group diets, etc. We'll do it.
Mhm.
Um, I would say just stay with yourself for a while. Don't try to be too active after ceremony. Give your body, energy, mind some space to integrate. Don't try to change a lot because sometimes people have this vision and jump into something is a very bad idea. Give yourself several weeks to ground. That's a very common sense. Second level,
Sell the house and move
sometimes,
to Bali.
ah,
Sell your house and move to Bali. I saw in ceremony that I should sell my house and move to Bali. Like just wait for
yeah,
4 months before you
wait
sell
for a
your
month,
house.
see what's the essence of this sell house and move to Bali. Is it really movement? Or is it really life calling you to sink in the sea? Or maybe something else. Maybe something more. There are some core message, essence of this message, which could be different as one. And another I would level, because I know who asked this question, and there are half of the people I know here, is they not maybe total professional like therapists, shamans, but many people are in this as a training right now. And this emotional again for professional, I would say it's very different level. The professional, you have layers of layers of emotional of your support system,
Mhm.
and you work with many practices for yourself. And this is different levels body. It's spiritual. It should be spiritual practice to keep you like in tune. And it should be dreaming. I work with dreams a lot and visions and meditative, and it should be relationship practices because it's if you working professionally, it's a big challenge for relationship to step into psychologist roles for everybody and saver roles, and it's very bad for your personal life. So if you have professional, third professional training, it's a very different level, and there are some structure needed. Come to process work, we'll learn some. I'm not telling it from just my advertisement mode. I think around 15 people. I just calculated from 10 years I teach, 15 people become more or less professional seminar leaders.
Mhm.
So means She told them something. Um, we have 5 minutes till our talk is completed.
I,
What we need, how we need to wrap up.
if that's okay, I would like to reflect on professional side of
Yeah,
things.
definitely.
So I many times saw people, whatever profession, uh,
Uh-huh.
especially when it's either yoga or Western, sorry, like Eastern medicine, or
Yeah, acupuncturist.
they coming to ceremony and they having this like, oh, now I got what, like, like what is it about, right? So there is a level of skill set, minimum valuable body of knowledge to be a professional, right? I know how to do this, right? But there
Mm-hmm.
is also connection, what is like in all traditions were done through transmission, right? Like,
Definitely.
like
Mm-hmm.
connecting to essence, to almost like this spiritual part of it, or like essential part, right?
Lineage, connecting to lineage.
Yes, yes. And what this practice is about, right? So often us professionals, we got very much stuck into this layer of like, I know, like we're losing this beginner's mind, basically, right?
Yes. It's
And
important
it's super,
moment.
super important and useful in ceremony to actually allow yourself, especially when you're not leading ceremony, but you coming to ceremony. Nobody knows what's going on in your head, right? Nobody's going to be shaming you for that's between you and medicine, and she's very forgiving. Connecting to that, like, I don't know. And from
Mhm.
I don't know, this like layer of curiosity, like genuine curiosity. When you're looking at something, it's like, like a baby, like, yeah, like with this cartoon How to Train Your Dragon, those eyes of this like
Mhm.
tiny dragons, like what is that,
You know
yeah,
how we call it in process work? Meta skill.
meta
Meta
skill, yeah,
skill. It's a skill behind the skill. A
yeah,
skill to be like just
yeah,
in this oh moment with the unknown.
yeah,
We started our conversation with unknown and we're wrapping up with unknown. It was like, wow, what's this life
yeah,
bringing me? Something which I never seen before. And I usually tell, you know why I'm still in this profession. I know something I could go ahead, but I never can predict how my session, therapy session, or ceremony will, or whatever I do will turn out. This moment of magic and unpredictable. That's why I'm still here. Or constellation. That's
yeah. This rawness when like you
yeah.
standing like there, either it's
Mhm.
like ceremony or session or whatever. So basically, I'm about to start something. I don't know. Like as
Yeah.
if I
And
lost all my skills, and connecting to that I don't know. That's not knowing. And okayness was not knowing. I don't have to, like, I'm not choosing the past to pretend to like okay, I'm a shaman. I have my whatever bells, and now I'm going to be like doing
mhm,
something. But
mhm,
like really connecting, that's like switching point when medicine and conocimiento knowledge gets unlocked. Because sometimes we get locked, like we don't have access, like years of practice, and it's like I don't feel anything. I don't know. I lost it. And then just through this vulnerability and okayness with this vulnerability, right? Not pitying yourself, not making big story out of it, and really just shaking it off. It's like, okay. And then this reconnection to essence happens, and all the knowledge and everything just opens up, and yeah.
You know, it's such an important moment, which I love. I'm so
Yeah.
happy we brought it because it happens also very visually, like people who did constellation. In a constellation, sometimes we unfold the process, we see what happened, we already put names on everything, and then it's stuck. People are like, Rolls unhappy, Field is unhappy. That's it. And I don't know what to do. And nobody knows what to do.
Mhm.
And we just stay here. And this is the moment of despair and
Mhm.
hopelessness. And every time I got there, I have the despair and hopelessness. And I know, but from my training and experience, just sit with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to sit with the despair and hopelessness and acknowledge it sometimes. And then 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, nothing happens, and something starts to raise up new, new
Mhm.
solution. The life comes, the field start to move,
Yeah.
and something start to balance itself. So sometimes you need just stay in this acceptance of not knowing what to do.
Yeah. Stop resisting that. And that's what gives, since you've been in that state, right? And pretty much every solid practitioner, we know those states.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
develop this okayness and going into this state of despair state of I don't know. Like it's so easy to swing into like self shaming, yada yada. You've been like to this place. So when you see client going through that, right,
Yeah,
you're not
you
going
can
to fall
also.
into this like false kindness or which is rather pity. Like, oh, don't go
Or
there.
giving advice right away. Say,
Yeah,
oh, you need to do this.
because being
No,
in
you
that
don't
state is
know.
exactly the remedy from whatever problem you're having. Just being okay with the
Mm.
state, because like every learning starts with I don't know. Like
Mhm.
if I'm not okay going into this state of I don't know, that it means basically I'm becoming bulletproof for any new learning. Because
We're over, but I cannot miss this point. Probably people know I love Yuval Harari, and in one book he tells that why actually this Western civilization made much more success and like uh, like finding new territories, traveling. Why? And China didn't do it because China was at some point much more developed than Western. You know why? Because Chinese never did maps with the white spots. They always call it somewhere. They call some fantasy names that they never tolerated white spots. And there are Middle Age maps in the Western. They had like unknown.
unknown, yeah.
That's it. So there always were people who look at these maps and say, "Oh wow, it's unknown. I should go there."
Yeah. And now I want to bring you back to your uh, experience in ceremony and this despair of not seeing. I got you, girl. I told you I'm gonna get you.
Okay.
Yeah. How does it
So
feel now? What if it's unknown?
scary. Maybe I never sing. Maybe never stay on stage and transfer this beauty. Maybe never again. Maybe it's one of life, my experience with this beautiful ceremony, and that's it.
Hmm.
Who knows? But we don't know. Okay. We don't know what will happen. We don't know what will happen on Natasha's ceremony, but I know it will be amazing.
We're gonna
My
drink.
market attempt
We're
was
gonna
this.
drink. We're going to explore. We're going to purge. We're going to cry. We're going to laugh. Right?
Yeah. And step into unknown.
Yeah.
And today we go to our night ceremony. Every day we have a ceremony with night dreams. And
Mm.
sometimes dreams lead us into unknown. So have a great night ceremony and we see you next Monday. Natasha, thank you for being such a good companion.
Pleasure. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
I
you.
feel like we're becoming friends bit by bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aliya,
Yes.
yay. Uh-huh.